Well, you gave us a very interesting example of a social taboo or a certain subject. But through your production house, what kind of censorship have you come across while you were pushing for a play? Or what are the subjects you think are still a no-no in Pakistani society?
Well, I think us as far as Odho Productions goes, the idea is really to pick up relevant topics. Like again with the breast cancer, we produced the first breast cancer film in this country, which has been watched and appreciated. And the hurdle I came across is a lot of the channels thought that, oh, it's not a commercially viable venture. So I said, look, I'll make it, you just run it, you know. I think that it is I don't understand what you mean by commercially viable. I think the fact that it's got such a strong message, and your majority, 70% of our viewership in Pakistan is women, and you're not really making anything of relevance. Actually, a lot of times the media really brings us down by just glamorizing and showing a very superficial side to us. Women have a lot of wonderful things about them. They are very giving, they're very loving, they contribute tremendously, not just to their home, but to a larger society. And I think those things have to be highlighted more as far as content goes. So we try to come up with content that is really, really geared towards a little more depth, maybe, perhaps, you know, a little more seriousness. And we don't take away from the storytelling aspect at all. The idea is to keep you engaged, but we definitely would like to tell the correct story.
Well, I will agree with what you said earlier, that it's not really about gender. For instance, at times there will be women standing up against women, even if you're talking about women empowerment. Have you come across any struggle from women while you were
I think
working?
some of my most sort of in my early days in my field, whether it was from the beauty business or it was from television, some of the women, some of the people I idolized or looked up towards were very empowered women. And they were my tremendous support group, and they were the ones that encouraged me, and they were the ones who said, look, don't give up on this. And just watching them made me understand that there is a possibility that I could do well in whatever I went into, because they were role models for me.
Well, one more thing. As a woman, is there more pressure on women, in particular women in show business, to keep fit and look better than it is on men?
I think we need to get over the whole women thing, frankly. I really do. I think we need to come up with capability now. I think we're out there. I think we are in politics, we are in media, we are in all walks of life. You look around this room and you see a majority of the people sitting here are women. I think we need to get over the gender issue. I think we need to look at ourselves and say, am I capable? And if I am, then there's nothing that's going to stop me. Because I know my job, and nobody out there is going to ever tell me that I don't know how to do this job. And if I don't know certain aspects of the job, I'll go out and I'll study it. When I came into television, many years later, I went to film school. You know, I didn't understand the technical side of it, and not that I go out and direct, but the fact that I wanted to go to film school is so that I understand that when the youngsters come to work with me or for me, I have a better understanding of what goes into the production when they're going out into the field to make that product for me. So you have to really acquire knowledge, and if you acquire the knowledge, there's no one and nothing in the world that can stop you.
Well, would you like to share any of your business tips with people, success tips?
Well, I'm still struggling with business too, but the idea is, I think integrity is a very basic and very powerful ingredient. In anything you do, integrity should be the key ingredient. Commitment, you know, team building. Team building is very important. An individual can only do so much, but when you move ahead as a community or as a group, or there's so much more you bring onto the table. And for me, like the kids coming into media today who are technically really, really way ahead of where we were, I learn so much from them on a daily basis, and I get so excited watching them, and I'm like, oh my God, but you guys are so way ahead. And that is a very, very important thing. Knowledge and team building and integrity is the main ingredient. You need to really, really understand where you are and work with honesty and commitment towards it.
We've seen you wearing different caps in different roles. You've produced, you've anchored, you've modeled. Which has been your best achievement to this date?
I think I'm still growing. I think I'm still learning, and I think there's still so much more to do and so much more to acquire. I think you don't stop. It's like education, you know. Till the day you die, you learn something. And I'm hoping that till the day I'm here, I'm actually evolving, growing, and I have a great, to answer it maybe more correctly, is I have a great love for life. I really do. I have a great love for people. And I think that it's life and it's people that make the world go round, and everything else becomes irrelevant. If you like people and you want to understand them and you want them to understand you, I think everything comes from there. It's all about the connections you make. And I'm hoping that till the day I'm here that I will keep evolving and growing and learning.
Well, a serious issue related to women again. Sexual harassment, is that rampant in Pakistan?
If I could tell you the stories the men had to tell.
We would really like to know the stories.
Well, I think sexual harassment again it depends. Like I hear this a lot about media. I think sexual harassment starts from both sides now. It's not just towards women. A lot of men face it as well. And I don't see any of the men clapping in this room right now.
Don't want to be told.
They're very nervous about this topic. And I think that there's sexual harassment or harassment of any form in every field, not media specifically. I think if you work in a bank or you work anywhere, there's going to be a certain form of harassment. I think you need to go out with confidence and address your issues. And it's really about who you are. You can go into any profession. It really comes down to the choices you make. Again, if you are committed and serious about the job you have taken or what you're trying to achieve, you are going to succeed, and nothing and no one is going to come in your way. It really should be like, why do we talk about women's empowerment? To me, the biggest thing is if she's financially empowered, she doesn't have to take anybody's nonsense, you know. She doesn't have to live her life according to somebody else's rules, and more importantly, she doesn't have to bring her children up according to somebody else's rules. Because for me, the most important thing was that I wanted to bring up my children the way I wanted to bring them up, and not by the way society wanted me to, or anybody else wanted me to. So the financial empowerment side of it is very important, because that is where, if you are not financially empowered, that is where your leash lies. That is where you are controlled from, and that is where you're held from, and that is where your children are controlled from. So to get an education, to go into a field, to financially empower yourself is so important for the well-being of your entire family unit, I feel.
What are you looking for from the younger generation?
Commitment.
In which way?
I think everything we've talked about, integrity and commitment. I think Pakistan is a fantastic country. We are a very talented and tremendous people, and I believe that if we understand that we have to move ahead as a country, as a nation, as one, there's little intrigues here and there. As I said, it adds spice to life. But overall, if we want to move ahead, a Pakistani living anywhere in the world today faces so much controversy and so much difficulty, because Pakistan, the brand Pakistan, today is suffering immensely because of the extremist issues we are facing. And whether you live within Pakistan or you live out of Pakistan, a Pakistani is impacted anywhere. And I believe that we all have to collectively, in our own little individual capacity, contribute as much as we can to brand build Pakistan again. And it has to be done by the youth in the future.
Thank you very much, Atiqa. The message is very clear that we need to bring back the identity, bring back the brand Pakistan. It's been lovely talking to you. A big clap for Miss Odho. Thank you.
Anybody like to ask questions?
Sure.
If you would like to.
I can just ask. If anybody wants to ask any question, they're more than welcome to that.
Pardon? Oh dear, it's makeup. Why do you think I launched the brand? It was like I understood this a long, long time ago, that if we didn't have those support systems in place, going to the right stylist and the right designer and the right brand, you can forget about it, because age is going to catch up. And I think, frankly speaking, I think confidence, beauty, whatever you'd like to call it, really is, it comes from your mind first. You need to be mentally and emotionally empowered, and everything else falls into place. Anything else?
Any other question that anybody wants to ask?
I like hearing from you guys, so please ask away.
Or has she answered all of them?
Okay. It was very nice meeting all of you, and I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart to come out and see me here today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.